Today we're going to take a look at Emiru reacts to horrifying mythical creatures from around the world by chat history. So yeah, should we just get into it? I bet it's pretty interesting.
Nesting at the front door. Last time I checked, yeah, but oh my god, the ground in front of the bird's nest is like horrifying. It's like a full layer of bird shit. It's really not good.
Yeah.
It's really gross.
Sounds nice.
Just from around the world. Again.
Whee! The Jersey Devil!
The
If you're
Jersey
from my neck of the
Devil.
woods or are fans of
Whiskey.
the hockey team, you might be familiar with the Jersey Devil. Let's set the mood. It's a dark, stormy, cliche spooky night where we find this withering old broad. This is Mother Leeds,
Mother
a
Leeds.
presumed witch on the verge of slapping out her 13th crotch goblin.
13.
Oh.
Is
Dang,
she
that's
didn't
crazy.
actually want this
That's a
child
lot.
because, well, 12 children is doable, 13 is just absurd. So during this pregnancy, she had wished that the devil himself would take this child from her. That's apparently
Sonic?
enough to make
No, he's a furry!
contract. The baby was born and looked as cute as a button, but as it aged, it began to evolve into a twisted monstrosity,
Oh, God.
transforming into the Jersey Devil. It is described as having
Looks
a
like
horse-like
Baphomet.
body, a goat head, a forked tail, and large menacing wings that allow it to soar through the pine trees of southern New Jersey in the United States.
Just because he was an
But is he
unwanted
real?
child?
Well,
Kinda
back in
cool if you
1909,
ask
there
me.
was a moment of panic as several reports across the states of Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey stated sightings of the winged beast. Some claims
wonder what they
involved the
actually
killing
saw.
of livestock, an attack on a
Yeah.
trolley car, and even an
Jersey
attack on a
Devil.
social club. The reported attacks caused mayhem on local
That's what they
businesses.
actually
makes me
saw.
crazy.
Of course
Closed out
it's
of
real.
fear.
Drugs?
The Philadelphia Zoo
Oh.
even put up a
Drugs.
So everyone was just doing
$10,000 reward
drugs?
for the capture of the
Maybe.
creature, which still remains unclaimed to this day. So if you ever find yourself
Maybe
unlucky
it was like a
enough to
vulture
actually
or
be
something?
in New Jersey itself and
A
are traveling through
vulture.
the
Do
empty
shit
county
at night?
roads in the dense pine barrens, keep an eye to the night
I
sky
don't
as he
know.
hunts for
I'll
prey.
probably sleep.
If you don't catch a
God.
glimpse, your hairs may stand on end when you hear his blood-curdling screeches, but also his fresh rhymes.
Yes, bars? Oh my god.
Okay.
Wendigo.
Ever have the insatiable craving for the flesh of a fellow human? Well,
No.
you might just be a Wendigo, or you
Oh.
need to seek some professional help, or both. Just a little ways up into the great white north of Canada
Oh,
is
Canada.
where we find the origins of the
Oh,
Wendigo legend.
Canada.
Stemming from the folklore of the indigenous Algonquin Native American tribe, the Wendigo
Algonquin.
is said to either be an evil spirit or a creature in its own right. It is described as a thin,
Oh my
emaciated
God.
corpse with long, sharp claws on its little
I
fingers.
think I've seen this
Its skin is
before.
sallow and gray, giving it a sallow and gray appearance. It also sports a stylish
It's
deer skull
gray,
and
which
antlers,
makes it
which
look
is a
gray.
great distraction from the fact that you have 0.67 seconds left to live now
It
that
kind
you've
of
seen
reminds
one.
me of something.
The Wendigo mercilessly hunts down any prey that gets lost in
show
the
you.
woods on dark, cold, wintry nights. It is never satisfied when it feasts and must relentlessly seek out more prey. Every time it does feed, it grows larger in proportion, but always looks like it skipped every gym day possible. A Wendigo can grow as large as 15 feet, which,
15
I mean, at that point you might as well just give up as they have
Oh, it's not there
exceptional
anymore.
hearing and eyesight, so there's no point in hiding. Oh yeah, I said they, because there can be multiple. But if you are feeling like these Wendies need to
Multiple?
go, you can test your luck in ripping one's heart out and setting it on fire to banish it to the shadow realm forever. Just
Yeah,
remember that there
that
are
sounds
others
easy.
waiting nearby.
Seems
just rip
manageable.
its heart
Let's take a
out.
skip across the pond to Ireland, the home of rain, redheads, beer, and the Doulahan. Never heard of the Doulahan? Well, I'm gonna tell you about the Doulahan. He is known as the
Doulahan?
Harbinger of Death, a foreboding
Oh
figure
my,
that
with
leaves
a
nothing but
spine?
destruction
Spine
in
wing?
his wake.
Is that his
The
spine?
Doulahan is described as a headless horseman with clothes and a horse blacker than black, giving him the appearance of a character you have yet to unlock.
Okay.
He carries his head in one hand and a human spine whip in another, which he uses to whip out the eyes of anyone who dares to look upon him.
Oh.
Oh look, the Doulahan. Hey. The Doulahan is also a bit of a party pooper, showing up on holidays and festivals to fill his quota of bodies and to step on your cake. Oh, my kid. So if you want to avoid this guy,
Asshole.
there's two possibilities. One is that you're his target and there's absolutely nothing you can do, so... But if you're not his intended victim, be sure you're carrying
thanks
at
for
least
the
a
prime.
single gold coin in your pocket or wearing gold jewelry, as the Dullahan hates gold for some reason. You ever see a Dullahan chasing down a blinged out rapper? I didn't think so.
Nope.
Right across the Irish Sea is Scotland. It's like Ireland,
Yeah.
but more Scottish, and they've got some pretty interesting creatures in their repertoire. But
Right.
today, we will be looking at the
Loch
Ak
Ness
Ishka.
Monster?
Yeah, doesn't sound
Or
how it looks, does it? The Ak
Ak-Ishka.
Ishka is a malevolent water spirit that takes on the form of a horse because Ak Ishka literally means water horse in Scottish Gaelic. So what does it look like?
Okay.
Pretty much a wet horse. Some interpretations have it with fins or claws, but a wet horse just seems
Wow,
funnier
that's
to me.
cool.
What isn't funny is why it is so evil. The malevolent mare is said to roam the nearby sea, but can
Diddy
trot
Kong.
around on land where you may even be able to
Diddy
mount and
Kong.
ride the demonic horse if you've got the
Oh,
stones
shit.
for it. The problem is, once you've climbed aboard,
A rare
you
mount.
become permanently stuck to its back if
Oh.
it smells or even sees
Bind.
water.
It
and,
has binding
being a water
properties.
spirit, that's pretty much a given. Once you've locked onto the saturated steed, it makes a beeline for the sea.
Oh
You can be
shit.
underwater. You can't. So you can see why you'd be in a bit of a pickle.
Okay, well,
The
I guess you
Ishka
just
will
don't
drag
go
you
ride the
down to the
horse.
darkest depths where you will be ripped from its back and consumed, with only your stinky liver remaining to float to the surface as proof of your demise. Maybe you shouldn't ride on the back of a demonic horse? I don't know.
But how does he get to the guy on his back if he can't get off? How can he eat from his back then?
But if you feel like you don't stand a chance, I suppose you could load up a blunderbuss full of silver to convert the horse demon into a pasta sauce. But
Oh,
first, make sure it's not just a normal horse you're aiming at.
Pesta.
Pesta.
This is Norwegian from the Black Plague.
The Black Plague wasn't fun for anyone. Millions died to an invisible force that ravaged Europe, Asia, and Northern Africa. So, what's the best way to make sense of such an unknown cause of death? Why make up a horrifying mythical nightmare
Yo, thanks
creature,
for
of
the
course.
resub.
In Norway, you may hear
Thank you,
tales of the
Rostad.
Pesta, a
And
decrepit
Subu,
old
23
witch
months.
that was the personification of the Black Plague itself.
Oh,
She is
God.
described as a dusty old
Pesta.
hag dressed in black with the typical dead sunken eyes.
Goth
You've
as
seen this stuff
fuck.
before. I mean, how scary could it really be? Grandma Plague is
Asshole,
always
that
traveling,
didn't even get me.
either on foot, by boat, or even flying,
Yeah, me
with no
neither.
true destination, but only with the intention of spreading desolation and despair. She can show up to your house at any moment. Grabbing some breakfast? Pesta. Doing laundry? Pesta. Petting your cat? Check again, because you're petting the Pesta, and she loves it. This crusty old bitch comes equipped with either a broom or a rake, which, according to legend, determines the magnitude of death that she will leave behind. So remember this: if you see a rake, a few are left in her wake. If you see a broom, you're all fucked. Unfortunately, since she is the representation
That
of the
doesn't
plague, there is
rhyme.
no way to truly defeat her. Your best bet is to
Crusty
maintain your
cheddar?
distance from others and
Wait,
practice
maybe
your
Cheddar
hygiene.
is the
Either
Pesta.
that or
He
you
is
can
super
get a spray of
crusty
bleach.
and dusty. No.
Oh my god.
Doppelganger? Wait, is
If
this
you've
a...
ever glanced at a mirror and taken a look at the gorgeous creature standing before you, then you know what a doppelganger looks like. Or at least you know what your doppelganger looks like, because
Oh,
that's
God.
what a doppelganger is. An identical, non-biologically related copy of you. So, sorry twins, you gotta sit this one out. You guys are creepy enough as it is. Originating from German folklore, it's unknown what this creature's true form is, as it instantly mimics the first person it lays eyes on. These mischievous little scamps will try to ruin your reputation by committing evil deeds and tricks while assuming your identity. So, it could be a valid excuse to relieve you of responsibilities for your actions. Farted in class? Nah,
Dude, yeah,
wasn't
it
me.
was definitely just some guy who did something so bad that everyone hated him, and he was like, "It wasn't me. It was a fucking spirit that looked like me."
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, that makes more sense because he would never do that.
Terrible credit score? Wrong guy. Mass arson? My hands are clean. Even if you're innocent and all that, what's concerning is that the doppelganger can actually start to influence your own decisions by planting evil thoughts in your head by means
shit.
of telepathy. So
Oh
if you're sweating
my.
bullets as you're tempted to swipe the officer's service weapon when he stops you for a minor traffic
What?
infraction, that's just a doppelganger talking. But you have to resist. Just don't resist the officer or you'll end up looking down a barrel.
Hey,
You. Finally awake.
Thanks.
But if you
Skyrim.
do have to prove your innocence when side by side with your copy, there's a couple features that can tell you two apart. For one, the doppelganger has no shadow, so that's an easy giveaway.
Oh.
It also lacks
Okay.
a reflection, so it could just be a vampire that looks like you, or it's the doppelganger.
Jinx.
Either way, that thing isn't you. You're you. Aren't you? And so
I
there you
think
have
so.
it.
Oh
More
God,
spooky,
what the
scary creatures from around the world.
He's breaking the
What'd you think?
immersion.
If you haven't already, be sure to check out my other
He
video
has
on
a
the topic
face.
here. And if you've already watched that one, be sure to check out my other content here. Either way, I'll see you over there.
Is he also a mythical creature from around the world?
Probably. I think he is. So yeah, that was the video. What did you think? Pretty cool mythical creatures. But anyways, thanks for joining me, and hope you wanna subscribe and like and leave a